Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrader.com weekend update show. It is Saturday. Hope everybody is doing well. I got to knock out the video. I'm going to a wedding later. Social Dan is loose. Hide your women, hide your children. Hopefully everybody's doing well, guys. Take a moment out, support the channel, like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hopefully, again, like I say every day, hopefully I will continue to point you in the right direction. So, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts going on. Going back to the previous Friday, obviously, the Trump bomb that there is going to be a November 1st increase of 100% of China tariffs, which later throughout the week said, probably not. We still have a good relationship. Again, I don't want to go back to what I think happened, what a lot of people think happened, but kind of where we are now. Obviously, the most important part is there will be some sort of resolution in talks, despite China turning around and saying we will fight to the death to make sure that we are fairly treated and nothing is going to be upside down in our world. And the one thing about the market is it has a very, very long memory. Okay, despite the shaking off of more headlines, if you look at the Nasdaq, and we'll use the QQQ as a proxy, we've done absolutely nothing right in the last 5 days. Kind of sat in this range here as we develop a really good distribution channel within last Friday's really aggressive 3.5% decline. If you look at the majority of the names, they didn't recover, right? They did not recover from last Friday's sell-off, and you can see by their charts. Amazon went lower, right? Here's last Friday's candle. Amazon finished lower than last week's candle. You look at NVIDIA, right? Here was last Friday's candle. NVIDIA finished lower than last Friday's candle. You could go through pretty much any one of these, NASDAQ names, PLTR, whatever the case may be. You look at Microsoft, right? Look at Microsoft. And again, these are all under last week's channel. So you can look at it as, well, the good news is, well, the market took it on the chin, came back fighting, and we did not lose more value. Sure, that is definitely the good news. The bad news, we couldn't price improve to get out of supply. And if a lot of you guys have noticed, a lot of these mega cap stocks could not rally last week just because, again, we just use Microsoft just because it's on the screen. Everything is below supply. For a stock to get above supply, right, takes a lot of effort. Usually it takes some sort of macro environment, takes some macro news, company specific news. I mean, you look at the Magnificent Seven. Yeah, they couldn't get it back up there. So is that a worrisome event, or is just everything kind of waiting to see what happens next? The next headline out of Washington, the next headline out of China. Again, we'll see, right? That's a very important part. Something to definitely pay attention to that flew under the radar this week, maybe not from a global kind of a conversational piece, but at least from my world that I saw it later, Friday, especially when I was charting this week, was a little bit of worry, right? A little bit of worrisome coming out of the regional banks. If you guys kind of followed the news events, which I really didn't see till Friday afternoon, and when I started in preliminary charting for this week. But Zion, right? Zion Corporation, they lost over $1 billion worth of valuation on Thursday, disclosing $60 million worth of loans are likely not to be repaid. Not a good thing. So obviously the whole sector got hit. KRE is the proxy for the regional banks. As you can see on Thursday, got really hit. Dead cat bounce in the whole group on Friday. And again, you could go through the whole list. I'm just going to give you a few names. HBAN, RF. Again, there's a million of these, a million of these regional banks. But the point is, again, is this something that we have to worry about, right? Or is it something just a headline, right? A headline, you turn around and say, well, okay, 60 million, that's a number. It's unfortunate, but again, it's not dramatic. It's not something that's gonna, really send the company spending. And it's not going to really, put a dent into what the regional banks or the macro big institutions are doing. Again, something to at least monitor. Again, if we start seeing more headlines like this, obviously it'll be something more to concentrate on. But I don't think this, as of yet, as just an outlier event in one company spilling over to a general macro concern. But again, something to look at. The big story of the week, at least from where I was sitting, was the suction, right? The suction out of the retail speculation names. If you guys have been following along for months and months and months, I've been kind of like, every other like once a week or so saying, hey guys, stop shorting these quantum names trying to pick a top. It's again, it's very, very simplistic. A stock cannot go lower until it loses a previous day's channel. And then again, if you've been watching the videos the last few weeks, I've been just literally telling you the prices, like RGTI. So, hey, man, it's 50, that's the line in the sand. 50, it's the, it's the 5-day support, whoever has control of the 5-day support. Probably will have short-term sentiment. Again, you can go through the whole group. RGTI, we talked about MP, right? MP, RGTI, all these stocks, OKLO, you just go one by one by one. It doesn't make a difference which one they are. Anything to do with quantum, anything to do with rare earths, they lost the previous channel. Gold was the same thing, right? Gold was having a massive, massive run. People were just shoring this thing every week, man. Just, it can't go higher. It can't go higher. And all I kept on saying, again, the general rule is, folks, it has nothing to do with the PS60 theory. It's the general rule of the most basic concept of technical analysis. A stock cannot go lower if it doesn't lose the previous day's channel. I even shorted GLD, right? I even shorted GLD on Friday. We had a nice pivot in this thing below 390.40. Why 390.40? Because that's the previous day's range, and it traded right to the next measure potential of 385. Actually, the funny thing is, I actually like this potential trade, again, going into this week. Guys, watch GLD. I'm even going to give you the pivot, right? I'm even going to literally give you the pivot right now. The 5-day moving average is 385. That's also correlated. Sometimes it correlates, sometimes it doesn't. That's also the 5-day moving average. If gold starts getting a day two, right, a day two decline, if it starts building below 385, there's a really good chance it goes to the next support of 376. So again, watch, anytime you're looking for a blow off top, just literally wait for it to take out the previous day's channel. And that is your green light, or in this case, your red light. You don't need to short tops every single time and hoping and praying this is the day. One day it will rain. One day it will rain. One day, yeah, eventually it will rain, but you might be out of business before you do so. So if you haven't learned anything, literally anything from me, or taking anything seriously what I said, just do know this. If you're looking for ever a reversal or backside trade, a stock absolutely has to take out a previous day or a multi-day channel for it to work. Again, just all you have to do is look at multiple charts and look where these stocks really pivoted to the aggressive side. GLD below 90.40s and RGTI below 50. MP, what was it, 86, right? I remember it was, 86. That was the 5-day support. It's again, sometimes you really get that light bulb moment when you see it or somebody else really shows it to you. So again, it has nothing to do with the PS60 theory. It's just basic bare bone technical analysis. It'll be very interesting to see going into this week if these stocks continue to sell, right? It's going to be very, very important to see because again, guys, if money's coming out of the high flyers, gold, rare earths, quantum names, and the mega cap technology space cannot rally, is a red flags, man. This is not just a 1 or 2 day off events. This could potentially start being a trend. And now we have a little bit of concern, although again, I'm going to put it as of for now as an outlier event for these regional banks. And now you potentially have a little bit of an issue. Bitcoin, again, did not survive last Friday's sell-off. As of right now, where's Bitcoin today? As of right now, when I'm recording the video, Bitcoin's at 106, right? So it hasn't, it hasn't recovered from last week. If this thing starts losing, I believe it was the 200-day EMA. If it starts losing the 200-day EMA, you're going to have more selling. It's going to spill over to other groups. So again, another piece of evidence that we're starting to gather, right? Again, maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. The good news is there is a potential white knight, right? There's a potential white knight coming into this week, and that is the start of technology earnings, right? Tuesday, we get Netflix. Okay, we get Netflix, the first technology name to come out with earnings, at least that I care about. And obviously, Wednesday is the big one, right? Is Tesla. It's been kind of going sideways now for the last 3 weeks. If you've been following the betting from the institutional point of view on Tesla for the last 2 weeks, they've been peppering, guys, peppering 480s, 500s, 510s, you name it, they got it, they want it. So does that automatically mean that the stock is going to, explode into earnings? Again, your guess is as good as mine. I'm just telling you the data, right? I'm just telling you where the institutional money flow has been coming in for the next earnings announcement, which is Wednesday after the close. On the trading aspect, though, we could potentially get a run-up move into earnings. The stock has behaved really, really well, outperforming a lot of the other names that have not recovered from the previous Friday's China debacle. And I'm going to watch this thing. I'm going to watch this thing this week. Again, we have Monday, Tuesday, and all of Wednesday, right? There's a potential that if Tesla can take out last week's highs, maybe we could get a run up to 450 plus this week. So I'll definitely, it's not like I'm really breaking news here. I trade Tesla every day. But the point is, if we can get back above last week's channel, there is a really good chance they could have a pre-earnings run-up. Next week, obviously, will be featured everything else, your Amazons of the world, your Apples of the world, your Metas of the world, and all these stocks have not participated at all, have been really underneath supply. Amazon, we had another pivot, man. This thing just keeps on going lower. We had a big pivot last week below 16, went to 12. It lost the 1260 4-day channel. It traded down to 11. I will be a continued seller in this thing until it releases earnings. Obviously, once it releases earnings, all bets are off. The stock could go back to 250. Who the hell knows? But the point is, every single time it loses a range, I will definitely be watching. And obviously, guys, the way the stock traded, if you see where it held the 65 EMA on Friday, prior to its potential, earnings next week, the following week. Hey, this thing starts losing the 65 EMA. This thing can go lower as well. So we're watching gold for a potential day 2 move to the downside. We're going to watch that. We are going to watch any participation in Tesla for potential earnings run up for this week as well. I will be looking for more continuation of potential selling on Amazon as well. Let me see what else I can give you guys that looks interesting. Hims, right? Shady CEO came out with some, good comments, good PR a couple of days ago, and then yada, yada, yada. Sold you stock right into that news. Stock closed below the 50-day moving average as it should for punishment. Guys, let's watch Hims. This thing starts confirming the 50-day moving average on Monday or Tuesday. There is more downside available. And let's watch Google. Google has been acting really, really well. As you can see, held up very, very well, held up through the whole China debacle from 2 Fridays ago. Let's watch this thing. This thing stopped Thursday on its upper Bollinger Band. This thing did not sell off. If it reclaims this upper Bollinger Band, this thing can run up as well. Other than that, man, if you are interested in pivots, guys, again, this is for the active trader. This is not for the, I'd like to check it out. I only buy one stock or have a $2,000 account. It's probably not for you. This is for active trading. Active traders, we trade both sides of the market. We fall in love with the channels. Again, I love Tesla. but I love its channels more. Upside, downside, doesn't make a difference to me as long as we are seeing the low-hanging fruit and waiting for confirmation. Guys, have a great weekend. God bless, and hopefully everything works out well. I will see you all on Monday. Take care.